concept that we'll be dealing with about this, the talking backwards and all that, has a very important philosophy into what's called necromancy, communication with the dead, and how backward masking ties into that. One of the probably the most popular examples of backward masking, and I remember the very first time I even heard of it, was off the Beatles' White Album. The Beatles' White Album had a song on it that was called Revolution 9. Now, Revolution 9 was just not really a song, but just a series of sound effects, people in the background, people talking, sounds of motors and stuff. And interesting enough, you'll hear throughout the whole thing, every once in a while, somebody saying, number 9, number 9, over and over again, number 9. Here's how it sounds right from the beginning.
Number 9, number 9, number 9.
And notice the piano in the background.
Number 9.
Sounds as if a piano's playing. Listen how it changes.
Number 9, 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 number.
I hear the piano right now. It sounds backwards or something. Interesting enough, you take that very same thing there, play it backwards, and what sounds to be like the piano's messing up, it's backwards, and that number 9 over and over again begins to say, turn me on, dead man, turn me on, dead man, turn me on, dead man, over and over again. Here's the same thing backwards. Now listen closer, turn me on.
Turn me on. Turn me on, turn me on. Turn me on, turn me on, turn me on, turn me on,
Turn me on, dead man, over and over again. Turn me on. And that Crowley wrote a book and was copyrighted in 1920. That book is called Magic. I don't know if you remember earlier when I told you to remember about ELO. They had a song called Strange Magic. Well, in that book, which delved into the philosophy and the concept of the black arts, especially the practice of necromancy, Crowley made a very interesting statement. And this really sheds a lot of light on this topic of why it's even important about backward masking. Now, I want you to take a look at what they have to say right in this thing. Here's what Crowley mentioned. He said for them to learn to be a part of this black art, they were to learn to write backwards with either hand, learn to walk backwards, let him constantly watch, if convenient, cinemagraph films. Now listen, and listen to phonograph records reversed, and let him so accustom himself that they appear natural and appreciable as a whole. Let him practice speaking backwards, for thus I am he. Let him say, Ema I. Let him learn to read backwards, and then at the end it says, and of his own ingenium let him devise other methods. Did you notice what it said there? Crowley, writing back in the early 1900s, mentioned that playing phonograph records backwards, this would help one to be able to communicate or get into this concept of necromancy or communication with the dead. Now, when you go back to this thing about the Beatles having that particular...
Crowley claimed that a demonic spirit he later identified as Satan himself dictated a book to him in 1904 called the Book of the Law. Under the heading The Law of Thelema, the Book of the Law declares, "This book lays down a simple code of conduct. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is a law, love under will. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt." Echoing...
And Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church came here for school, graduated to the high. I feel like